If Carolyn Dorin Ballard is to win her 7th title of the year, she must defeat 4 of PWBA's young stars in the finals of the Brunswick Women's World Open next. Welcome inside Suncoast Bowling Center in Las Vegas, Nevada for the finals of the Brunswick Women's World Open. Hello everyone, I'm Jan Schmidt. Thanks for tuning in for PWBA's 22nd event this year. 3 of tonight's finalists have combined to taste victory 12 times this season. One has a lingering taste since last year, and one has dreamed of what that taste might be since the age of 7. Let's meet them. Qualifying 5th, still looking for that first career victory, rookie Kelly Kulick. In the number 4 position, going for her 2nd straight major championship, Liz Johnson. Qualifying 3rd, seeking her first title in over a year, Liza Bishop. In the number 2 position, Call Ripley. It's a believe it or not, making 18 shows this year, Carolyn Dorin Ballard. And in the top spot, from which she's already won twice this season, Michelle Feldman. Working with me once again tonight, Kathy Dorin Lizzie. And Kathy, we told the audience a few weeks ago that Michelle Feldman was not having her best season. She turned that around in the last 4 weeks. She's been top seed 3 times. How?
I think there's several reasons for Michelle's turnaround. First of all, whether Michelle likes it or not, she's going to have to change her game a little bit in order to stay on top. She's also improved on keeping her emotions in check on those not-so-good weeks. But most of all, this young lady has started to pray. She told me last night, God has given me such an awesome ability and talent, and at any moment he could take it away. So I'm going to work with him to keep it as long as I can.
Sounds like great advice. Well, a lady who's been dreaming of tour life almost her entire life, Kelly Kulick, is having a dream rookie season, but I don't think it's because of beginner's luck.
No, here's a young lady who was a Team USA member, bowled for Moorhead State, got all the seasoning she could, taking all of her past experiences to attain all of her future goals. When I bowled for college, collegiate bowling was the wave of the future, and since then has improved tremendously. Well, Kelly Kulick is a perfect example of those improvements. Here's our rookie tonight, Jan. 3rd consecutive TV appearance in her 3rd major of the year, looking for title number 1 right around the corner.
Well, our first match is right around the corner. Let's get going. Kulick will be joined by Johnson and Bishop. Low 5s, actually, around the corner, and Kelly Kulick, the rookie, will start this match. You mentioned her 3rd major this year, her 3rd show. 3rd time she's made a show in a major. That's pretty impressive in a rookie season.
Yes, it is. More impressive if she wins.
Oh, wow, that 4-pin moved about 6 inches there to the right.
Well, Kelly did mention to us that she has trouble with the fresh. They did practice on them, though, for quite a bit, about 45 minutes. She looked very comfortable, had a great reaction. That's just a bad break.
Liza Bishop, her 5th year on tour and looking for her 5th title. Not a bad start, but she'd like a little bit better, obviously, and a better start to this match. Another tough spare on lane 24.
As we've seen in the past, Jan, switching to the plastic ball to get the wood on the splits is very important. I think I spoke too soon.
You did.
It always comes down to the last frame, pins.
Liza Bishop going to convert the 3, 6, 9, 10. She covers that up nicely, and Liz Johnson now stepping up on lane 23, and this lady, what a season she is having. Normally, it would definitely be a Bowler of the Year season, but it may not be this year with Carolyn Dorin Ballard's phenomenal year. All 3 players going high right now.
Unfortunate for Liz, too. You're right, 9th appearance. 4 titles already. She took last week off, but won the week before. Excellent shot by Carolyn.
Bounce back after that split. Liz Johnson now going to cover the spare. This lady looking for back-to-back major championships. If there's any question, I'll let you know right now. The Brunswick Women's World Open is a major this year. It was a long format event. It was a major the first year it was bowled in 1998 when Carolyn, Dorin, Ballard won it. 99 and 2000 it was not considered a major because it was a regular format event. It was not the longer extended format. So it's back to a major this season.
Relaxing with the crowd a little bit.
Trying to raise the roof. So right now Lisa Bishop and Liz Johnson all even. And high again.
Well, Liz usually plays the outside line when it's available because that's definitely her strong point in her A game. Good shot off her hand, hooked a little early. Bad result, but she got the wood.
After a short break, the PWBA will head to Laughlin, Nevada for the 2001 Women's U.S. Open Bowling Championship presented by Riverside Resort. It runs November 30th through December 9th, and we hope you plan to come out and vacation there while watching the women compete for their largest purse in history. Scratch women bowlers, you can still enter. We'll have more details later in the show. But we've been receiving calls asking just where is Laughlin, Nevada, so here you go. It's at the southern tip of Nevada. It's 94 miles southeast of Vegas, 240 miles northwest of Phoenix, and 330 miles northeast of LA. It's an easy drive for many of those areas, and I'm sure you can get some good fares to fly in for the U.S. Open if you're not within the vicinity. So there ends the mystery of where Laughlin, Nevada is. Kelly Kulick had a 229 average on this TV pair, lanes 23 and 24 here at Suncoast Bowling Center.
And she was third with 229. Liz Johnson, 251. Better shot on 23. Remember, she went high the first frame, so obviously she made an adjustment. Smart move. And I'll see if Lisa Bishop makes an adjustment because she went high on 24.
She's in the lead right now by 12 pins. 215, there's her average on this TV pair. Average is a bit higher this week. This is obviously one of the better scoring pairs as you look at the averages of the finalists.
And I think it would be safe to say that Lisa made an adjustment also. That was a 100% better shot.
There's that 251.
Unbelievable.
For 3 games, wow.
Liz is unbelievable.
Oh, and almost a 4-9 and almost a strike. I wasn't sure what would happen there for a minute, but a 9-pin left, so she'll pick up that spare ball.
Now that's 2 frames in a row high for Liz, and she said her weakness was slow moves, adjusting. So it'll be interesting to see what she does.
Well, Lisa Bishop jumps out in front early at Suncoast Bowling Center. We'll be right back with more action. While we were away, Kelly Kulick continues to search for the secret to win out here on tour. A little luck would help her. She left a 4-10 in the 4th that could have just as well been a strike. Another split in the 5th. Lisa Bishop continued her determination with nothing but strikes, and Liz Johnson has now lined it up, Kathy, for 3 in a row.
Well, Liz definitely made the move. She went flush twice on 23, a little high still on 24, but definitely made the move. So I think her thought process is with her. Kelly definitely.
Kelly is really having a tough time out there. Even when she's making good shots, she's paying the price, and every bad shot is a split.
And she said there are times where she's all or nothing. When she's all, it's the nights that she had like Tuesday night, Wednesday night. But when she's not, she's fishing, and it's unfortunate. Lisa's strength, determination, look at her. And her weakness, she's nervous. But it's a positive nerve. She doesn't look nervous to me, though, does she?
It doesn't appear to be affecting her tonight. I think sometimes the nerves are greater trying to get to the show. sometimes for some people than on the show. Kelly Kulick, as you mentioned earlier, one of her weaknesses is the fresh conditioning, and that's really what she's on right now.
Yes, and even though we said they practiced for about 45 minutes, there's only 5 girls playing different parts of the lane. As you can see, Kelly's the only one playing the lanes that way. So for her, it probably still is very fresh. Here we have Liz, that weakness, the slow moves. Not today. She moved through 3 in a row. 3 great shots. Still a little high the last time on 24. It'll be interesting to see. A little high again, although I must say a strength for Liz also in her game is she can throw it very hard when she has to when the lanes start to hook.
She could probably use a little more speed on 24 now. To look at Kelly's rookie season, 17 match play finals. As you see, there are 0 titles. That's what she's really looking for.
Well, they're still next week. She led the U.S. Open last year. She could come back and do it again.
Liz covers it up. Kelly also having made, this is her 8th telecast, so she's really looking to try and tie that rookie record of Carl Honeychurch's, which is 9 from last season. Lisa Bishop, a prior Rookie of the Year for us back in 1997.
She really worked on her mental toughness, and boy, is it showing. She said, I bowled focused and I bowled patient. 2 qualities you need to be a champion out here for sure. Excellent shot, though. Left the 10-pin.
Is up now in the 9th frame, but really Lisa Bishop has complete control of this match. So Lisa Bishop will move on. But first, when we come back, we'll bring you up to speed on women's collegiate bowling and its current NCAA status. PWBA stars like Kim Terrell, Kelly Kulick, Kathy Dorin Lizzie, Liz Johnson, Carolyn, Dorin, Ballard, and more have used collegiate bowling as a stepping stone to their success as professionals. With us this week, Bob Bjorkman, WIBC Director, WIBC a sponsor of the PWBA, and leading the charge for NCAA status for women's collegiate bowling. Final score of match 1, Lisa Bishop 268 to Kulick's 164 and Johnson's 209. That means Lisa Bishop off against Carolyn, Dorin, Ballard right after this. Well, Kelly Kulick may not have won a title yet, but her 5th place finish today puts her square into the contestants for the Brunswick Shootout, which will air in 2 weeks. By her 5th place finish, she went around Kim Terrell, who was in the 8th position. So this will be the 8 bowlers that will be in the Brunswick Shootout. It's a skins type of format. Look for that on November 26th. We're ready for the semifinal match. Lisa Bishop. Huge game in that first match. We've typically seen a little bit of transition, though, Kathy, as the games go on. So we'll watch to see if Lisa maintains the pace she's been bowling at.
Well, you'll see Carolyn and Lisa will be playing the same line, so it'll be very interesting to see how they break down. If at all.
Well, she's going to start that right off the bat. Let's raise the roof a little at this match also. Carolyn Dorin Ballard, 37 years old. 12 years on tour, 16 titles. 6 of them.
And so on and so on and so on.
6 of them this year.
Now with the win tonight, number 7, she ties the professional record with 7.
That's Patty Costello from 1976. A win also would break Lisa Wagner's PWBA record of 6 from 1988.
Isn't that nice to be a part of so many wonderful things that will be around for a long time after you've gone?
Right, definitely.
It'll inspire other girls to want to break them, do the same thing, and I just think that's wonderful.
Carolyn a little high, leaving a 4-pin.
Okay. 24 was the lane that most of the girls went high on.
Looking at the titleists from this season, obviously Carolyn Dorin Ballard, we just mentioned, with 6 of those titles, and close behind Cara Honeychurch, Liz Johnson with 4 apiece.
Leanne Barrett with 2, Michelle Feldman with 2, possibly 3 tonight. Wendy McPherson, Tish Johnson, our Iron Woman with 1.
and Dee Dee Davidson, who just won last week in Las Cruces, New Mexico. Good shot for Carolyn. Lisa Bishop had told us she was having quite a bit of shoulder problems throughout this season, Kathy.
Well, she strained her shoulder earlier in the year, back in May. And she went home, saw a therapist and an orthopedic surgeon, and that's all they said it was a strain. She said she hasn't done any massive therapy to heal it yet, just resting it. She's been taking a few weeks off here and there. But she's definitely going to take care of it over the break.
She also talked about possibly going to 14-pound equipment over the long 6-month break.
That'll definitely alleviate some of the tension in her shoulder. It's obviously going to give her more revolutions on the ball, too, which is something she said wouldn't hurt her.
Yeah, that's one of the things she's looking for. The question is, she already throws hard. Will it give her too much ball speed to counteract those revolutions? That's where you run into the, which is better.
Exactly. Lisa's a lot like Liz. They both can throw the ball very hard, and at the same time, what makes them so great is they keep the ball on line.
Well, she'll need to keep it on line about 10 more times to shoot that 300. That's her maximum score if she goes off the sheet. And there's a $50,000 bonus on the line from Travelodge Hotels if she does it. Oh, I'll take this one. 3, 4, 6, 7. Not unmakeable, though. She could give this one a shot.
Well, she's smart switching to her plastic ball. She'll shoot at it cross lane. She's going to want to get the ball just to the right of the 3-pin to slide it over to get the 4-7. This is very makeable. Just like that.
All right, we called that one. How about that, Kat?
That was picture perfect. Plastic ball, very important. Gets it perfect to the right of the 3-pin. Slides it right into the 4-7. She couldn't have shot at that any better.
Yeah, it's okay. I'd smile, too, after picking that up. Very important for Lisa Bishop. She needs a big finish for her, mentally, because she was pondering whether she should come back out next year or not. And Carolyn Dorin Ballard, obviously, we've already told you what's on the line for her in terms of records. So a big match right here to get to that championship match. Now, Carolyn has won this event once before, and
that dreaded Dorin Ballard 7-10.
She said, okay, it's out of there.
She really lofted that onto the lane, stayed behind it real nice. She didn't get the pin action, though, on the corners the way it looked like she should have, barely getting the 7, and the 10 never moved.
She'll change balls to shoot at this 10-pin, and she covers it up with no problem. And Kathy asked Carolyn earlier if she has any thoughts of repeating as the Brunswick Women's World Open champion.
Well, I take every week as it's the same. I try not to think of it as a major, but this was my first major that I did win. So I think it would be a little special if I were to win it again, because when the word major is in with the championship, it does make it a little extra special.
And as I mentioned earlier, it was only a major the one year, 1998, and that's when Carolyn Dorin Ballard won. Cara Honeychurch won it the next 2 years, 99 and 2000, but it was just a regular event. Now a major again, and she wants it again.
Probably because it's a major.
Oh, I'm sure. Although she hasn't been too picky, she'd take any title this year.
And she has practically, Jan.
Exactly.
Better pin action on that, just blew the rack. Carolyn, you can see, is obviously very comfortable with not only herself, but her equipment, where she needs to play the lanes. And no matter where she needs to play them, she finds a way to fit her game into that. That's why she's on 18 times. This is Lisa Bishop's 4th TV appearance, but looks just as comfortable because, again, very comfortable with what she needs to do. It's very important to know your game.
She's looking great. And Kathy, Lisa talked to us a bit about how she feels about this year compared to last year, and she's more comfortable this year with what she's been doing.
Well, last year she was a little inconsistent, and she kept saying, I know I can do better, I know I'm better than this. She came out this year, took a few weeks off, got her self-determination and definitely that mental toughness going behind her, and look at her. She told us last night, I'm so pleased with how I'm performing, but I know there's another level I want to get to.
Yeah, she said, I haven't reached my potential yet.
And we saw before her match play, 15-9, she had the best.
The best of our 5 finalists, maybe the best of the entire field match play
She
records.
tied Tish Johnson 15-9 also.
Yeah.
Tish, who made a run there to try to make the show.
Lisa backing off for a moment, obviously disrupted by something, and her focus very good tonight.
Smart move to back off if you're not ready.
And that strike means that Lisa Bishop has the lead in the Brunswick Women's World Open. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back to Las Vegas, Nevada, home of the world-famous Hoover Dam. We're inside Suncoast Bowling Center on the northwest side of Las Vegas for the Brunswick Women's World Open. While we were away, both ladies throwing a couple of shots, 9 counts. Nobody able to carry for the last 2 frames.
Carolyn broke even in match play, 12-12.
Carolyn now up in the 7th frame.
Yes.
She trails by 6 pins.
Another great crit. That was a crisp shot right off her hand. You can see it. Kept it right on line. Flush right in the pocket. Remember, we said those bonus pins are really important to get you to the TV show.
A game this week, 290 for Carolyn Dorin Ballard, at 300 for Lisa Bishop.
Against Carolyn.
Exactly.
Match play.
Yeah, the first game of match play, 300 to 208. What a way to start match play for Lisa Bishop.
Yeah. 2 beautiful shots by Carolyn. And you have to stay on your game. Lisa's a tough player. She has a great shot. She's aggressive. She's nice and loose, making her spares. This is going to be a good match.
Well, they've both been in the pocket with the exception of 1 frame for Lisa Bishop in the 3rd. Other than that, it's been all carry. Carolyn Dorin Ballard finally finding a way in the 7th frame to carry on lane 24. And Lisa Bishop's been carrying on both lanes except for the last 2 shots. Right back on the strikes, and Kathy, you mentioned that Tish Johnson had made a run at making the show. She shot 277 in position round and just missed out, finishing in 6th position. I knew we were going to show the other finishers. There it is, and there's Tish in 6th, Marianne DeRupo 4th in average this week, but that match play pins you're talking about, Kathy, 8 and 16 cost her the show.
And then in 11th, we have Kim Terrell, who's moving into her new home next week. And Carol Norman, last year's WIBC Hall of Fame inductee.
Lisa Bishop, and now not up in the 9th frame. Strike up in the 8th.
She backs off again. Something obviously disturbed her.
A big shot, this 9th frame shot. This is to maintain her lead here in this game. She needs to continue to strike. We base our plus or minus on continuing to strike. We have spectators all the way down the lane this week, a very good crowd, and so a little bit of distraction for Lisa Bishop. A lot of distraction for Lisa Bishop. Some noise going on.
It was just not a good shot right from the get-go. She looked a little open at the release. There is a lot of oil to the very far right of the lane. And the oil just took the ball right into the gutter. Unfortunately, very, very bad break.
Okay, and she's in the 9th frame, though, and on a strike, so if she can spare it, she can salvage the frame, and she doesn't. So unfortunately for Lisa Bishop, Carolyn Dorin Ballard has just been handed a pretty huge present here in the 9th frame.
Very, very unfortunate for Lisa.
Putting Carolyn now in the lead by 29 pins. As she steps up in the 9th frame, she's working on 2 strikes. She finally struck on this lane the last time up. Lisa Bishop could still shoot 210 if she were to strike out. She could force Carolyn to get another strike in here somewhere, another double.
Come on. Get it.
Messenger fell off the back. I thought it was going to come across for a minute.
Carolyn's got a great line to the pocket. Ball comes in hair light, not as flush as the previous strike. We saw she could have gotten a messenger there, but 10 pin just does not want to go, which was a problem for a lot of bowlers, as you can see by the scores. Some girls that really had the carry and the great shots, they averaged 220 and above. But those girls that didn't have the carry averaged only about 210.
So Carolyn Dorin Ballard now with an 8-pin lead as she steps into the 10th frame. She could take it off the sheet for 218. Anything less than that, and Lisa Bishop will be able to step up and win this match if Carolyn does not double.
Come on.
That was a really nice shot.
She took a glance over at the score. She wants to know what she needs. She doesn't even, I guess she didn't look too well. She doesn't know it's the 10th frame. Someone needs to tell them. Neither one knows it's the 10th frame. They're both changing positions.
She really liked that strike, though. Look at her leaning it over to get it in the pocket.
Well, I guess they are not paying attention to the score of this match. Carolyn Dorin Ballard now needs this strike and 3 pins to shut out Lisa Bishop.
We talked to Carolyn about her shot in the 10th last week against Dee Dee. Carolyn said, I felt great. I felt I threw a great shot, and all I ever want is a chance to throw a good shot. And here's her chance. Good shot. Yeah, there was no doubt about that one as soon as she let it go.
So she'll need 3 pins. She's adding it up, taking a breath. Okay, I think I can get 3, she said. And Lisa Bishop can only try to get that one back.
That's a shame, because when it's not your own distraction, that's kind of hard to get over, because that's what happens when you have a crowd and we're in a big place. Very unfortunate.
But that's what it takes. Sometimes you have to, and I was poor at it, but you have to find a way to get over it.
Yeah.
And get up there and make the shot.
Absolutely. You have to dig deep somewhere and pretend you're the only one in the bowling center.
So Carolyn Dorin Ballard takes the semifinal match by a narrow margin. When we return, we'll recap tonight's action. The 2001 Women's U.S. Open Bowling Championship, presented and hosted by Don Laughlin's Riverside Resort Hotel and Casino in Laughlin, Nevada, will begin with Pro-Ams November 30th and December 1st. U.S. Open competition begins December 2nd and concludes with a live broadcast on ESPN Sunday, December 9th at 2:30 p.m. Eastern, immediately following the Men's U.S. Open Final. $300,000 will be up for grabs. For tournament entry info, contact the PWBA at 815-332-5756 or visit pwba.com. And you can still enter the Pro-Ams by calling Riverside at 800-227-3849 or visit riversideresort.com. In match 1, Lisa Bishop strung 7 strikes and said, "See ya, ladies," to Kulick and Johnson, shooting 268 to their 164 in 209. In match 2, a distraction for Lisa Bishop gave Carolyn Dorin Ballard the chance, and she took it with a clutch double to defeat Bishop 217 to 210. Coming up next, Carolyn Dorin Ballard tries to stop Michelle Feldman from capturing her first major championship. We are back at Suncoast Bowling Center, and we're ready for the championship match of the Brunswick Women's World Open. Carolyn Dorin Ballard won that semifinal match, so she will have that chance to break the record we talked about of 7 titles in a season. Patty Costello actually tie that record from 1976 and break 6 titles in a season, the PWBA record held by Liza Wagner in 1988.
And who more fitting for Carolyn to have to beat to do it, but then her rival, Michelle Feldman.
Definitely arch rival, and it's interesting career-wise. You know, Michelle Feldman is 1-4 against Carolyn. Carolyn's had the better end, except for Michelle's one victory was that big 300 game on television.
Absolutely. Michelle's averaging 225 against Carolyn, though.
Little shots just like that. Now both the ladies starting with a strike, and once again a $50,000 bonus on the line by Travelodge Hotels if anyone shoots 300 on television. 224 average this week. She really took command of this condition.
Getting the early break. Going Brooklyn, tripping the 6-pin.
Oh, that kind of early break. I thought you meant early break of the ball. No.
That too. As you said, Jan, great, awesome roll off her hand, but she didn't get it to the right. She got too much early break, as you said. Never even getting right of the head pin. Going left, but catching the break there, tripping the 6-pin. And that break will probably come in handy later on in the game.
I would imagine. Look at that serious look on Carolyn's face. She looks so intense tonight.
Now, Carolyn switched balls the last game in the 7th frame. She went to a more earlier rolling ball that rolls a little more in the mid lane also, but doesn't recover so much on the back. Just kind of arcs into the pocket, maybe even lays off a little bit to try to change that carry, and it worked because she doubled and got 9 to win the game. These are the changes we're talking about in your game. Your mental change, your physical change, your knowing your equipment.
Well, Carolyn's been bridesmaid the last 4 years as runner-up to Player of the Year, Bowler of the Year. Here's our race this year. Carolyn on top with those 6 titles, 18 TV shows, PWBA earnings. She's in first position also. Cara Honeychurch and Liz Johnson both with 4 titles.
Cara with 13 shows, Liz with 9. That's unbelievable. That's great bowling, flat out.
They should be the trio of the year. Do we have that?
And they should be on every cover of Sports Illustrated, in my opinion.
You're right.
People don't understand that in bowling. That's very difficult to do because of the level of competition and talent that is out here. So I wish the whole world could respect it and enjoy it as much as we have.
225 average on the TV pair for this lady, and as we mentioned earlier, Carolyn Dorin Ballard's average was 242 on this pair prior to coming into tonight.
Oh. She really makes those pins fly around.
She does.
Forget about me asking which pin it would be if it knocked it down, because that's impossible. But Michelle's just got an awesome release. I mean, look how many times that ball, you know, rotates. And yet that was maybe a half 10. That wasn't really a solid 10, if you can believe that. But she picks up the spare. Now Michelle flattens her ball out. She doesn't switch to a plastic ball, but because she throws it so hard, it'd be very rare that her ball would do anything but go 60 feet at the single pin.
But spares are one of the things she had problem with this week, and it's because she said she got too quick.
Well, when you throw that many strikes, and she was averaging at least 6 strikes a game, people, that's a lot. That by the time she left a spare, she just got quick and would miss it. But when you throw 6 strikes a game at least, you can compensate for the miss.
Well, I think when you were talking about the 6 strikes last night, Michelle leaned over and said it was really 7 or 8 at least a game.
It was. The majority of her games it was, but I thought I'd be a little mediocre and say
a little realistic.
Averaging at least 6 strikes a game, which, if you think about it, that's half the game. If you put them together, it's a big game.
Yeah, it just depends on where they're positioned throughout the game.
Carolyn, on the other hand, said, I'm not a strike player. I'd rather than be a little tough. I like to grind it out. But she finds a way to knock them down.
She does, and has all year long, just like that. But I guess the reason she's feeling she's not a strike player, she doesn't create the area that some of the strike players like a Michelle Feldman would. And so for her to strike, her pocket and margin for error is a lot smaller oftentimes than a Michelle Feldman or a Leanne Baird or somebody who can create more area. So she doesn't see herself as a strike player. She sees herself as it's more important that she shoots all of her spares.
Which overcompensates how accurate and how aggressive and how talented her year has been for her. You don't do what bowlers like her have done without having all the components working together.
Exactly. Like, as you mentioned, Michelle Feldman, she can get here and lead the tournament with missing some spares. Carolyn Dorin Ballard probably could not. She couldn't miss very many and still be leading in many cases.
Yes. For all you big strikers out there, that's not a way of saying you can miss some spares if you
No, it's not. Oh, yeah, I didn't intend to imply that.
Make those spares and you'll lead by that much more.
Well, we'll take a quick break with Carolyn Dorin Ballard in the lead here by just 1 pin. We'll be back with the conclusion of this match. Don't go away. While we were away, nothing but strikes. No give by either of these ladies. Carolyn Dorin Ballard still in the lead by 1 pin. Where you missed that carry, important. Carolyn, the second frame, she could go off the sheet for 280. Michelle Feldman, because of pin count in the third frame, didn't carry. 279's her best number. Oh, come on.
Oh, my God, 2 chances and it's still standing. Great shot from Michelle. So much power, so much rotation. Barely hits the head pin, blows them around. That's all her power. And look at her reaction. She just can't believe it. Very disappointed in that.
Covers that up, but remember, that is the lane she got a break on early in this match to carry a double. Sometimes they take it right back from you when you get those kind of breaks. Carolyn Dorin Ballard now in the lead by 22 pins. That's if she would continue to strike for a max score of 280. Now she looks pretty focused tonight. She had told us her weakness was her focus this week. She's been getting more tired as this season progressed. Understandably so.
Yes, and she also said, I'm just going to try to stay down and keep my eye on my mark. She obviously is. She's not making too many errors.
Some of the other finishers in this event that made the cut in 17th position. Rachel Perez. She made the cut in the last 7 of 8 events that she's bowled. Kim Adler has just one more chance to extend her winning streak to 9 seasons.
21st, we have our U.S. Open winner from last year, Tennille Grijalva, and Brenda Norman, another success story from the collegiate bowling program.
Oh, and another one at the bottom, Kathy Dorin Lizzie.
Oh, yeah. They didn't forget about me.
Nope. Here's a look at the scoreboard. Carolyn Dorin Ballard still in the lead by 22 pins.
Those light hits are carrying today. Sometimes you want to come up a little light. You get better pin action that way. Your angle into the pocket just to come up a little light really blows them around. Whereas sometimes when you come in more solid, you have the chance of leaving a corner pin. Light is obviously a great way to play him today.
Michelle Feldman looking over. Now remember, she led our last major championship, the Hammer Players Championship, and lost that one, finishing second. And she told us about who she's been looking to for a little bit of guidance.
Well, last year, without knowing, I made the first 5 shows, and I did not know. I realized that my mom told me that she put a Bible in my suitcase, which I think helped me out a lot because sometimes I pray a lot. And this year she told me, maybe you should try to pray a little. Maybe it'll help you through some of the bad times this year. So that's what I've been doing the last few weeks.
As you mentioned earlier, Kathy, obviously it's helped her. She said it's helped her with a calming influence, a different way of looking at things than she was before.
Definitely. She looks more relaxed, personally, professionally, and I think, just look at this young lady. I mean, she's obviously growing up a lot out here. 8-9 years on tour. She's only 25 years old. She's experienced some of the greatest highs and lows of a professional athlete.
Well, she can strike out right now for a high score of 258. Now that's Carolyn Dorin Ballard could go 9 strikes spare for 259.
We knew this was going to be a nail-biter.
It is.
Once Carolyn advanced and Michelle was leader, we knew what we were going to look at.
Actually, 9 spare strike. I think I might have reversed that order, but 9 spare strike is what she'll need if Michelle strikes here, and she does for a 258. What a championship match.
Well, Michelle started off today just the way she ended last night. Striking at least, what did I say, 6 times a game? This was 10.
10 times. Well, Carolyn Dorin Ballard will need at least 8 on this to not be out of this match. 8 spare strike could be a tie. 9 spare strike to win.
By 1 pin.
Oh my God. Yes!
What a shot. A strike is the best kind of mark you can get.
She really wanted that,
Oh my God.
and she lets us know.
Well, she'll need 5 pins here to have to, not throw another ball. That shot huge. That's another major, her second this year. If she wins this with 5 pins here, that could literally, in my opinion, wrap up that Bowler of the Year race.
Well, you're looking at just a fabulous, a lady who's just had one fabulous 12 months.
An unbelievable 12 months, and don't forget now she is the second repeat champion at the Brunswick Women's World Open, and Kathy Dorin, Lizzie, sister here, shedding a few tears for her sister, and Michelle Feldman probably shedding a few tears of her own, finishing second in 2 straight majors. But as she said last night, it's an accomplishment itself just to be there in the majors.
Absolutely. You will see Michelle Feldman a lot.
Clearly speechless, cannot believe what she has just done. Carolyn Dorin Ballard takes her 7th title of 2001. Stay with us for more. There's the champion of the Brunswick Women's World Open, Carolyn Dorin Ballard. Final score 280 to 258, and she's waiting for a check. Ray Edwards, the Director of Research and Development at Brunswick Corp, has that. And coming in with the trophy, Mike Maniak, Director of Bowling Operations for Coast Resorts.
Carolyn, congratulations. Super bowling. It's been a pleasure having you here this week.
Thank you.
Keep it going.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank Mike Maniak and everyone at Suncoast. We were treated like true professionals this week. I'd like to thank Ray Edwards and Brunswick Corporation for their continued support of women's bowling, the Women's International Bowling Congress and Travelodge. Without you, we wouldn't be here. And to Ebonite, thank you very much for making the equipment that allows me to bowl to win.
Okay, the lady next to you looks a little bit like you. Kathy, how you feeling, or have anything for Carolyn?
My palms are sweaty in that 10th frame.
Your palms.
Carolyn, you broke Lisa Wagner's record with the most PWBA titles in one season. You tied Patty Costello for the most professional titles in one season. Tell us, how does that feel?
Well, it's amazing because I won my very first title, a doubles title with Lisa Wagner, so to have my name in recognition with one of the greats of our sport is phenomenal. But she always told me I'd be a pretty good bowler someday. She put up with all the tearing of the phone books in the rooms when I didn't bowl very well. But I'd like to thank all my family and friends. I have a very good support group, especially this year. And especially having my sister with me, it makes the hard times a lot easier. And I'm really looking forward to a break.
I was going there. You said you've been mentally fatigued. If both have been watching, know it's been a very tough year for you. How have you made it through these last couple of weeks?
I would never have made it through if I didn't have such a support group. I have great family that calls every week. I have my sister with me every week, who loves me no matter what. And I have friends that check on me every day. And without that, I don't think I would have made it through, because, you know, you have your good days and your bad days. And bowling great is wonderful, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. But there are other things that are more important, and hopefully this just brings everything to a more happy note.
So Carolyn Dorin Ballard wins her 17th career title in honor of her father. Tune in Monday, November 26th at 9 p.m. Eastern for the Brunswick Shootout, featuring the top 8 ranked athletes in a skins-type format. That's in 2 weeks, November 26th. For Kathy Dorin Lizzie, I'm Jan Schmidt. We hope you enjoyed the show. Good night and God bless. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com.